Hello, everybody. I have a dear friend of mine who, not too long ago, posted a video, and she posted it so that people who have lost their mom could have some inspiration, a way of coping with the loss. This time of year is rough for a lot of people, and I know that feeling. I lost my mom in 1998. But when she posted that video, it inspired me to do the same and to reach my peer group and my friends in social media to encourage them as well. Um, it's rough. It can be rough if you don't have a good support group, if you don't have a way of really expressing what that relationship meant. It may have been a great relationship, whether it's a mother-daughter or a mother and son. The loss is something that cannot be described. It really can't. There's no real words to sum it all up. And I want to encourage those who are having a rough time watching everyone else put up pictures and put up special quotes about their relationship with their mother. It's a beautiful thing to see, but it's also challenging if you can't put your hands on your mother again or you can't hug her right now. Um, don't let anyone tell you when your grieving time is over. That's something that's very individual, and people handle it different ways. And it's easier if you get some help. It's easier if you open up, and professional help can help you if you choose to. But you have to have the courage to know that it does ease up at some point. For me, it took me 7 years to stop grieving. It really did. It was devastating because my mom, that lady, Carolyn Backman, she was larger than life and did so much for her community. And she was so large as a woman of power and education and helped so many other women. And her loss affected Atlanta, Georgia, period. And to be the daughter of such a great woman and try to cope with her being gone and everyone else just taking a different direction, it was devastating for me, my one sibling, brother, and my two children. But here's the deal, you find a way to cope. And for me, it was through a lot of prayer, a lot of praying, and a lot of people were praying for me and for my family. And I don't know how people make it without God. I don't. I don't know how they cope with grieving and death without understanding the spiritual aspect of it. Um, I'm speechless. And that's why I haven't done this yet. My mom left in 98, and to this day, it's still hard to talk about. I'm just keeping it real. And those of you that know me, you know I'm a strong woman. But I'll tell you the truth now. What helped me to um, stay alive was the fact that I was a mother. I had two small children when my mom passed. And I knew uh, once they shut her tomb, I needed something to keep my heart beating. And that was my children. And to this day, my reason for not collapsing and giving up is because I had two children that were looking at me and wondering what I was going to do and wondering what was going to happen to me. And I got the courage and the strength to keep living because I had to raise them. I had to still love on them. I had to be strong for them. And it has been worth the journey. And it's interesting because now, I see my mother so much in my daughter, and I see my ways in my son a lot. And it's interesting how things come full circle. And so, their spirit still hangs around. That's just something that I believe. And I can't go to a function without someone mentioning my mother's name. I can't go to a family reunion. I can't go to a church and they'll call her name before they call mine. And I'll be honest with you, that's hard sometimes because you want to finish with your grieving. And that reminder just sometimes takes you a certain way. And so you'll have to find a way to cope. Now, let me say this, you can cry as much as you like. You can go into a deep, dark hole of depression and let grief take you through all those changes. Um, but take it from someone who went down what I call that dark rabbit hole of grief. where you just didn't want to be here, um, you can go down there if you want to. But guess what? You are going to have to bring yourself back up and come back out into the light and live. You are. And you're going to have to find something to put in front of you. Find somebody to put in front of you that gives you that pull to let you come forward and let you live. And you find something to celebrate. And you rejoice in how you had a relationship with your mother for whatever it was. You don't judge it. You learn from it. You gain the wisdom. You accept it. And then you get on with the business of your life because that's all you can control. And that's all you're responsible for. And so I thank God for um, making it thus far, for the accomplishments. A lot of things I've gotten done because of God's help and the strength of my mother's character, which is incomparable. Um, and so it's been an awesome journey, but it was rough. I think the first year I cried for 365 days straight. I wept for an entire year. And the last year, the seventh year, it had eased up greatly. But I had one bad bout that seventh year, and then I came out of it. And I began to succeed, and I began to grow. And then before I knew it, it was time for my children to graduate. And they were striving, and their gifts were coming out. And I was going into different avenues with my gifts that I got from her, being able to reach people. She reached women a great deal and helped them turn their lives around. And for me, it was reaching men in prison. And there's a record to show that I paid tribute to her honor and her legacy of serving the community. And so I'm glad that there was something in front of me. God put a lot in front of me to pull me forward so that I wouldn't drown in grief. And I think that first Mother's Day, it was rough. But my brother and I, we got together and we said, we're not going to do this. We're not going to go and sit up somewhere and moan and groan and holler. So it was on a Sunday and we didn't go to church. We went to Six Flags. Him, myself, and my two children. And we got on those roller coasters and the water slide, and we had a blast in the name of that special lady. So find something to pull you forward when it gets rough and celebrate. Find a reason to celebrate. Celebrate your life. And whatever that situation is, whatever it's not, your mom may be alive, but she's suffering with an illness, she's suffering with dementia, or you just don't have a good relationship. Or maybe she's not everything you think she's supposed to be. If she's still here, you have a chance to make it right. Just put down the judgment and you love them for who they are and what they can give you and what they can't. God provides, but embrace them while you can. And for moms that are gone, you pull forward and live and celebrate. What if I'd have given up years ago? What if I decided to climb into substance abuse or climb into alcohol? I could have. Nobody would have blamed me. But that destiny turned out different, and I'm so glad. Next Saturday, my daughter's graduating with her master's degree. My son is a successful musician. They take such good care of me, and I couldn't have asked for two better children. If I had given up and held on to anger and rage and unforgiveness and resentment and what people expected me to do, I wouldn't have made it. But I pulled forward, and it was worth the journey. So enjoy this Mother's Day. Enjoy it the best way you can. Celebrate. Celebrate the fact that you're a mother. Celebrate that you have memories of your mother. And love on the first person you see on Mother's Day, whether they're your mother or not. Find somebody you've been a mother to. Find somebody who has been a mother to you and celebrate Mother's Day in your own special way. It will be worth it. Enjoy.